Yes, you
because
can.
I don't have a capture card.
Or we could pirate things. Not that we acknowledge that sort of behavior at all.
I mean, good luck
Right?
finding a functional
No.
emulator.
What the
Okay.
hell are you guys talking about?
Kenny, we cannot hear you. I want to clarify that.
They can though, and that's what matters.
Yes. Yes, they can.
You know, like, what are you guys talking about?
Octopath Traveler.
Oh, yeah, I'm playing
You know
that.
what we should be talking about?
What?
Anime Expo!
No,
But real quick, I
we're
want to
talking
go
about
off
Octopath
topic
Traveler.
real quick. Who'd you guys start with in Octopath? Like, you get?
No, I didn't. I was going to today.
Damn.
If my product owner wanted me to go get a sandwich for him and myself, I would have gone to GameStop and gotten a copy.
Yeah, Kenny, who'd you start with?
I started with the girl with the archer beasts.
Tangent?
Yeah, she cool.
You know what's
Old
great?
English.
Literally every friend on my Switch plays that
Octopath.
game a lot.
It's
So I'm like,
pretty
man,
good.
that again.
I only have like 2 hours in right now, but
Like a normal fucking
three
human being?
actually. Yeah.
Like a normal human being?
Well, yesterday when I got home from work, I legit like just got on my Switch and laid in bed and listened to podcasts. It was cool. It's a good night until I wasn't feeling too good. So I forgot to say this. I feel like this is important. Welcome to the Black and Yellow Talking Gamers podcast.
What?
I am your host Blackatron, and with me is Commander Cluck Cluck. And on the other side, oh, you can't do it, haha. The other side is Rakutsu, Nick, short for Nickelodeon. And we're here to talk about anime and video games and all the other good shit that we always talk about. Even though we don't talk about video games half as much as we should. I should stop saying that. It's fine. Yeah, we're here to talk about Anime Expo because we were there last week. And that was a fun time. Right?
Very fun.
I had to like say it
Kenny,
It was on
questionably.
fire, if you could say.
Wow.
That's what it-
What do you say, Nick?
Sorry. Go on.
That shirt you've got on. Where did you get it and where is it from, Kenny?
This shirt? Do you even pose? I got
don't.
this at Anime Expo. I don't remember the booth. It was pretty cool though.
Oh, you know what I got?
It's
there?
12:31.
Just to let you guys know, I am a new avid JoJo fanatic. Was not before. I like watched part 1, part 2. Oh, nice hat. Oh, I watched part 1, part 2. Loved part 2, and I was like, oh, this is so great. And then part 3 happened, and I was like, oh, stands. What the hell is this? Can't stand it. Haha. And I put it on the shelf for a bit. I didn't watch it, and then like I heard that they were gonna premiere part 5 at Anime Expo, and I was like, all right, time to binge this shit. One weekend, I watched like over 50 episodes or some crazy number, and
It's 40. It's like 47. Some shit.
yeah, it was crazy. I watched all of JoJo Part 4 and a little bit of Part 3, and I was able to go watch JoJo Part 5 with Nick, even though we waited in line for 2 hours and a half, and the heat of 110 degrees?
110 degrees.
Yeah, in Southern California, like that's no joke.
No, it fucking isn't.
And they're from
Kenny.
Florida.
Absolutely
They're from
right.
Florida. I just want to say that.
Like, I stood out there and genuinely, 120 seconds, less than 2 minutes. Kenny, I don't think I can do this.
Yep. And I was like, dude, come
But
on.
we did. Yeah, you got me to stay, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay. I'm
I
gonna
was
stay here.
actually okay with the 110 because it was a dry heat.
Exactly. That's why I said the same thing. I was like, oh, no, I can live this.
Yeah.
Like if you're in shade in the 110, it's not too bad.
Oh,
But,
the shade?
yeah.
What's
Which you guys
that?
didn't have, apparently.
Yeah, we didn't have the shade actually.
Yeah. When I was waiting for the trigger panel, I was in the shade.
Yes.
So I do want to say, before we jump into like all that stuff, I guess we should preface with like the expectations we came in with, as in going to see the My Hero movie. So you guys want to talk about it, or
Picture yourselves, listeners, that you are in the world of BAYOG. We wake up feeling awesome as fuck
we have our own world?
after flying an entire day, and we got maybe 4 hours of sleep because we wake up and we got to go out at 5 in the morning through LA fuck you traffic to wait in line through Anime Expo fuck you lines for 2 hours to get into the convention. After which we need to wait in another fucking line to get tickets, to wait in another line to go watch this movie. And we were all on board with that. We got to literally that second to last stage where we waited through lines upon lines upon lines. And we were maybe 150 people off out of 3,000 to get into the My Hero Academia movie screening. That was what that first day was like. I will curse out and bring another human being to tears because they're costing me $100 every 6 months over the phone. I leave it to you to figure out how pissed I was personally.
It was rough. I think like we knew the risk involved, but we were just still willing. We were like, "Oh fuck it," and we thought we were good. I felt like we were good.
Oh yeah, I thought we were good.
Especially when we got to the line, if that makes sense.
Like that last line.
Yeah.
Because it looked like they're like, oh yeah, we still got tickets. And we're like, oh fuck yeah, there's like two rows of people left. Turns out each row is like 100 people.
Yeah.
So we were literally like 150 off.
Yeah, it sucks because like this is the only time I'm ever excited over a filler movie. Like this is not, from the manga or anything like that. It is just straight up filler, but it's like fine because My Hero and it's Bones Studio, and it's just fucking good. Like I know it's gonna be good no matter what. And when I saw everyone I follow on Twitter who actually got to see it, and they're just like, dude, it was amazing, blah blah blah, I was just like, kill me, just kill me. But then all of that went away when we watched JoJo.
Oh yeah.
I felt real good about that. I was just like, wow.
So they aired
JoJo.
Yeah, they aired what was it? Aitoro Aveno, which I think is Italian for Gold Wind, which is the part 5, and it's been about 3 years now since the last part came out. And Kenny, as you can tell from his shirt, fucking loved it. And it was great because that panel wasn't just a panel, it was the premiere as well. So we managed to get in, and we were about the middle of the crowd. We were in the middle of the area. Those of you who watch us on Twitter probably saw. And we were behind a camera and some guys who were a little loud and a little douchey, but all in all, it was worth it. So, Mark, would you like to chime in with, as Kenny and I were leaving the auditorium, what you told me?
So, after their panel ended, like, I was waiting outside in line for the trigger panel. And then, literally, the entire time I was in line, all the volunteers that were, like, coordinating lines were like, it's a non-clearing room, so there's no guarantee you'll get in. And I get a text message from Nick saying, yeah, we're heading out now. I'm like, dude, fuck. Stay in there.
I think it's exactly what
Sit your ass back down.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
So fucking Anime Expo is crazy. Like, it is crazy. I've gone to so many anime cons now, but like this is something I've never expected. Like, I even like thought, because I've done PAX, it was at least like that. But no, this was the most populated thing I've ever been to, and very congested. It was rough, but that's just kind of the culture behind it, right? Like, they're not going to cap their sales. They're just going to keep selling them. They expect a big like everyone to be there. So it's fine.
Huge turnout.
So it's like if you want to do that, I recommend paying for the premiere pass or whatever if they're still available, and then you'll actually be able to do cool things. Like I think what sucked is like I had all these plans in my mind of things I want to do, people like mutuals I wanted to meet, and like I didn't really get to meet half as many mutuals I actually wanted to.
Yeah.
And but I do want to say before I like fall off this JoJo panel, that JoJo panel was sick mostly because the director was there.
Yes.
And we got a lot of insight into like how he thinks. And like one of my favorite questions I was asked about the panel was like, why do you use the sound the sound
image, like they have the words, like menacing in the background.
Yeah, why did he decide to add that into JoJo? And he said it wouldn't have been a good adaptation otherwise. Yeah. It's like it's not JoJo.
Why would you?
It's not
yeah,
there.
he's like, why would you? Yeah, or why wouldn't you? I should say.
That's just cool.
Yeah, it was a great panel. Like, the translator was funny, and the guy was just super funny.
Yeah,
like it was entertaining. We got to see a bunch of the voice actors, including the voice actor for Dio, who was super cool. And
we were there for when they announced who Josuke's voice actor was for part 4 when they do the dub. He was alright. He's alright. Nice.
He was alright, cool. Except for like one time where he actually genuinely like he did a line in the Josuke voice, and you could tell everyone was like just, whoa, that's gonna be a kick-ass Josuke. Like he did it very. I think it was the question was they were doing like prizes for trivia, and the trivia question was,
it was about the hair thing.
Yeah, it was, what does Josuke hate? And it's like the guys in front of us, the one funny thing that they said was he hates when you, oh never mind, I don't want to say it because it's a spoiler, but it's something very common sense they said, and I laughed at that. But the answer is when you make fun of his hair. And the guy, the voice actor, when he heard that, he yelled like the line, and I was like, that was good. Like it was executed perfectly. It sounded great, and I was super stoked.
Yeah. Like overall, I'm like, I could see why people are so crazed about this show. I now understand. Like I like was ignorant. I had no idea. Also, we got these things, which is in the case you got 2, you little bastard.
Two.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, you can see
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3 Stardust Crusaders holographic coasters.
Even though it's just promoting the Blu-ray, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's still good.
Free.
It's still free, and it's still good. And I'm not putting my beer on one because I'm an idiot. I've corrected that.
I've done it a few times now, but like I do have a bottle of water right next to it, and it's not on there. That's my problem. I did that to myself. And then we went to a trigger panel, which was dope. Fucking fantastic. But before the trigger panel started, we were sitting next to this guy, and he fell asleep on me.
Yeah, he fell asleep on Kenny.
Like, just knocked out. I was like, oh, that's weird. And, like, Nick's like, oh, my God. And
I was like, what?
And I said, just let him rest. I'm pretty sure he had a long day. It's fine. And I just let him sleep on my shoulder. And then he finally woke up like a little before. I was going to wake him up before the panel started so he didn't miss it. He woke up and said, oh my God, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, it's fine. No big deal.
But you know why it was worth it? Because one of the kick-ass things they did was the first staff member they had come on for the panel threw a bunch of ping pong balls on there. And then the creative director had a money gun that spewed out a bunch of these motherfuckers right here. And the reason why I show that is on the back of some of these was a stamp with the Trigger logo. And Kenny managed to grab 2. I managed to grab that one. And this blonde in front of me managed to grab one. And the guy actually that fell asleep grabbed one too. And what that meant was we were entitled to a giveaway. And what Kenny got was a few keyframes. And what I got was this bad boy. So I'm fucking happy as shit.
Yeah, it was weird because like when they were first giving out stuff, it was the guy put like a bunch of shit in my hand.
He put a bunch of shit in our hands.
Shit in my hands,
Yeah,
and
he
I
gave
was
me
just
like a
like,
CD, some prints.
yeah, he
and
gave you
this.
all that, and then like I
was
had the
yeah.
in between frames, all of the like a Darling in the Frank CD, like all these different things, and I was just like, and I like turned to walk away, and he's like, oh no, only one.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh
staff
shit.
were like, oh no, he meant to only give you one. I'm like,
Yeah, and then
He
like
did.
I didn't really get to
Yes,
choose what I
I'm not gonna
wanted,
fight you.
which was funny because like he pretty much just took everything else from my hand, and I was like, oh, I got these in between frames, and then when we got back to the Airbnb, opened it up, and one of them is Mako. Another one is the Keyblade itself, not Keyblade. I said Keyblade, Scissor Blade. That was awkward. And what was the last one? I don't remember. It was probably another Mako thing. But yeah, these in between frames are specifically from episode 1 of Kill la Kill, and they are like the legit ones. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're the real original ones. That's what I was telling Kenny. It's like that's probably the single most expensive thing they were giving out.
But that's not correct. Actually, I did my research. You can get them for like $20.
Really, the original keyframes?
Mm-hmm. They just have so many that they just do that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know because I know you don't like this particular topic, but I know the keyframes of Austin as boobs from the SAO movie were selling for a shit ton.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other story though.
Yeah, in general, keyframes sell for a lot, so I'm actually surprised that was only $20.
Yeah. But
still, I mean, they're very nice.
Well, it's because they're randomized too.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. Like you don't know what the hell you're getting.
Yeah.
So, but I will say, like Trigger, it was just. I have always liked them as a studio, but I am like, I probably say they're like one of my favorites now. I used to think they're like maybe top 3. Like I really like Bones. Can't see my hand because I was over there. Bones, probably Production IG, and then Trigger. I mean, but Production IG can probably be like switched with something else.
Yeah.
So like for me, those are like my top 3. And like I just because of how they interact with their fans and everything, I just like love the shit out of it. But a lot of people had this weird they had this stigma with it where like they mention the Patreon and everyone's like, oh no, they just want to get more money, this and that. They're like not actually paying their animators, so they're gonna make the community pay for their animators, and that was never the case. Like they never actually said that. So it's just rough.
They justified it better in the panel than they did on the Patreon, and I think that did help. Because in the Patreon, they kind of just say, "Oh yeah, we're doing this." In the panel, they explained, "We're doing this so that we can afford to give you guys better stuff." Because they were talking about all these different giveaways and products and whatnot that they wanted to do for like Kill la Kill, Space Patrol Luluco, My Little Witch Academia, or My Little Witch Academia.
My Little Witch Academia.
Little Witch Academia.
It's fine. It's not as bad as the Keyblade thing. It's not as bad as the Keyblade thing.
I had a couple cups of mead before this, so I apologize. But they explained in the panel perfectly, like, we're doing this so we can make more shit to sell to you.
I wish I had that.
And it's also, I love that. I actually just took it out of the thing now. But they were really very transparent about it. And I think one of the reasons why I know Kenny was loving it, because Kenny and I were next to each other the whole time. We were like I think we were like 6 rows back. And they were showing prototypes, and they basically went through and they said, listen, you guys, phones away. They're going to, like, we got told like maybe 30 times, if you take your phone out when the panel starts, we're kicking you the fuck out. We're taking your badge. Like, I didn't see anyone get kicked out, but I also didn't see anyone get caught. And they basically showed us a bunch of different panels. I talked about it in my article, but the Darling and the Franks, they showed a lot of their prototypes.
Their early prototypes for all the Franks, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they ended up switching out to a new show. And I remember telling Kenny, before I knew that this was a non-clearing and we could stick in for the next 3 panels, or next 2 panels, I told him, yo, dude, I'm cool missing the Trigger panel as long as they don't, announce the next Gurren Lagann or anything. Hey, Kenny, what did they announce?
Promare, which is wow. Yeah, that's like the new Kamina essentially. But one thing you need to know is he's technically not the new Kamina. It's just that Imaishi has this hairstyle thing where it's just like he likes doing that. I don't fucking know. He likes these wild, spiky hairdos. And they made sure to explain that to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Always.
They made sure to defend this argument by talking about it for 10 minutes, showing Imaishi's first like designs way back in the day.
Yeah,
where like,
they showed him like manga from like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's definitely a good
And
time.
then like, yeah, I think my favorite part was, well, no, I had two favorite parts. One of them was they had the main director, the main director of it, come on in an interview. They recorded him in Japan, and he explained Promare is about a team of special forces who go and they fight
Not the director.
proto nightmares. Oh,
Producer.
what was he? I'm sorry. Producer, the main producer, the executive producer.
He said Promare is a portmanteau of
Yeah.
Pro and Nightmare.
Yeah, because these people go in and they fight the nightmares that keep humanity awake, that stop them from being able to sleep. And he goes on for maybe 5 minutes until the end of it, and he just kind of off the cuff says, "Yeah, all of that was a lie." And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, he's like, "Yeah, I just made all that up." And I'm like, I was laughing with Kenny. I'm like, I got that feeling because that's the kind of thing that I do when I just rant and I bullshit something up. And I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm just fucking with you." But I love that dude. And they started talking about how, yeah, this is why we have difficulty sometimes meeting deadlines, because that's our boss. That's our executive producer. That's the guy we have to report to.
I think.
That was just funny.
What was I gonna say? Oh, to touch on the Patreon thing you're talking about earlier, like the big thing that they kept trying to let us know is like they don't need the money really. It's more like they really liked the kind of fan interaction they got from doing Little Witch Academia OVA way back, and like how that was a Kickstarter project. So like they like that kind of fan interaction. That's why they want to do more streams with like whatever featured animators or whatever that can do some work. And yeah, like Nick said, they can give away stuff they want to, do whatever they want. But you know, the main thing that's really cool is that if you're into art, you love art, you get to see all the PSD files and all that.
Yeah, they give you for $5 if you do that.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I meant to do.
Like it's worth the money if you're like, you know, you majored in animation, you wanted to like see how they work. Like that shit's cool.
I'll use this more often, I promise.
But we then saw Gridman after.
Oh my god.
SSSS Gridman, and we got to watch the panel. Well, there was like a little bit of discussion about it in the trigger panel between the character designer and the producer. That's who it was, right? Those two.
Yeah.
Yep. And
yeah, because it was the dude who looked like he was like 17.
Yep. So there's
crazy.
They
like
do that character on the thing.
Mhm.
Or is
Yeah.
that's a 17-year-old, right?
Yeah.
The 17. Okay.
So there's two like main things that I took away that like I'm always gonna remember. One is the director of SSS Gridman, SSSS 4S's Gridman, where he pretty much called out like everything. He was like, "Oh yeah, you know, if you're into like Disney, Ninja Turtles, like whatever." Like he mentioned like almost all these different projects for animation.
Yeah, every major.
And he was like,
project.
Gridman is gonna be the new standard. It's gonna break everything. This is gonna be the new thing of 2018, and like pretty much challenged everything. And it was so interesting because you're like, oh fuck, like he's saying that right before the premiere. Let's see if he's actually right. And dude,
Like,
holy crap.
Yeah, I thought he was joking, to be honest, because the video was taken with like him in a tiny office, like smaller than my shitty apartment here, just like this tiny office, and he's just kind of sitting on a chair, and he's like, "Yeah, I think it's gonna be like all of this, that, and the other," and he's kind of like very hunched over. I thought he was just joking, and then it fucking kicks in, and dude, the animation, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, Kenny hates CG, and You,
He was
dude,
fine
you,
with
you
CG
go
in
on.
it.
Yeah, you talk about it, man. It was fucking good.
I
Nice.
burped into you guys, but I muted the stream so they didn't hear it.
Good man.
See, I care about you guys. Like not
There you
these
go.
two. Oh, fuck them. So I personally hate CG. Always have, and I feel that it's trying to think what the quote was. There's a quote where somebody said, and I can't remember who said it, so I don't even really want to use it, but it was like, it's about learn all the rules, and then you can break them at your leisure, right? I forgot exactly who said it, but it's
It's Hitler. Yeah, you just go to.
it's not Hitler. Fuck you. I
Yeah,
wasn't going like this. I was going like this, like the Tenya thing,
Yes. Oh my god.
All right. So I was saying that's the thing about CG. It's like if somebody wants to work with it, you can't just be that guy that's just like, oh, we're gonna CG everything. We're gonna CG every little thing, because it just looks like garbage, right?
Yeah.
But then you look at Inuyashiki. That shit was like not always CG. Sometimes hand drawn, and it's like super nice, clean. Except that one fight that it's understandably bad. It's like not bad, but just hard to watch.
It was bad. We can call
Gridman,
it in that case.
the CG is just like a hybrid, and it's done so nicely. All of the action scenes are very dynamic and very Trigger. So like when you see that this Trigger series, because that's what it's Trigger, right? But it feels so un-Trigger like when you look at Gridman as a whole, right? But then you kind of see the passion behind these people working on it, and like they just are big fans of Gridman, I guess, and they wanted to bring this new story to life. And to let you guys know, if you didn't know, Gridman is not a remake. They made sure to let us know that it's not a remake, it's not a sequel. It's just like a retelling of a different story,
Yeah.
Which kind of feels like a reboot, but we'll leave it on.
They did a very interesting job because they had a lot of collaborative efforts from people like our age. The creator producer was he again? I forget. Yeah, it was like 17 or some shit like that.
Gridman's by the new staff at Trigger.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they were talking about how they would constantly like interrupt like the staff meetings for Darling and other projects and be like, hey, listen, I know you guys are working on something, but can you guys help us out here real quick?
Yeah.
And that was like the funniest explanation where like they were very like, even then they were like apologizing, like, hey, listen, I'm sorry we're doing this. And it was funny. Like honestly, the whole Trigger panel in general was hilarious. I think my favorite thing was, I don't remember if they said it then or during the drawing panel the next day, but they talked about how my favorite thing was they justified, listen, stop saying that we do all of these shows, because this is after Darling
Oh,
and the
you're talking
Franxx
about that
came
thing,
out.
yep.
Yeah,
That was the drawing panel.
Was it during the drawing panel? Yeah, it was during the drawing panel. They talked about how stop pointing out to us that all of our shows are in space. That's not
No,
true.
that was during
That's
the
not
normal
real.
panel.
Was it during the? I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember.
Because I remember that.
Yeah, okay, there you go. And they're like, stop it, like.
Oh
and then
no!
to-
So it's two separate things. One space, and there was another one.
Yeah, I don't remember what the other one was, but
And they talked about one in our panel, and they talked about another one in drawing.
Yeah, I don't remember what they said in the drawing, but the space one I think was ours.
Yeah.
And it was great because they go on for another 10 minutes, just like they did. This is not us retelling things from Gurren Lagann. See all these proof that it's a different it's the same art style for these different characters. In space, they were talking about how stop calling us out for doing things in space because Gurren Lagann was Gynex, Little Witch Academia and Kill la Kill were low Earth or high Earth orbit, and this Darling and the Franxx was
The first
A1 or Cloverworks. No, they said like this is Cloverworks,
Okay.
And then they said all we've done that's in space is Space Patrol Lulico. And if we ever do a space thing, feel free to call us out. But that's the only one that was really space. And it was just so funny how they're just like very adamantly defending this point.
Mm-hmm. So I mentioned earlier that there was 2 points. The first
Yes.
point I mentioned earlier, but the second point
Can I guess
is.
the second point?
Go ahead.
The thighs.
No, but that is a good point. So I guess that'll be my
That was
third point.
funny.
You want to talk about that now, since
Oh my god, that was fun.
Oh my god, I think she's gonna be my favorite character, mostly because of the thighs. Because I like legs, dude. But yeah, like when they were showing character designs for Gridman,
Gridman,
like
yep.
during the panel, they were showing like some of the characters, the main characters, like this is the main character. He has these weird little horns, and then like someone was saying, who was it? Was it the producer? Was saying that get rid of those horns, it's gonna be garbage.
Yeah.
Oh no!
it
So
was-
no. All right, that was gonna be my second point. I'll just talk about that now.
Okay.
Okay.
Nick, you find the page.
Yeah,
But
you
so
talk
Susio, the Kill la Kill artist. He's
Yeah.
like Kill la Kill. These are all his characters.
I got it.
He made. So he hated the horns on Gridman's main character, and he said, I am not. I'm pretty sure that when the show comes out, that's gonna be super unpopular. Everyone's gonna hate it, and if I'm wrong, then I will do like a very honorable bow to him.
Yeah,
And,
like Japanese like bow, apologetic bow.
So he then saw the actual animation. He was like, I might take that back. But what Nick just showed was in the Gridman art book, he contributed to it by showing 2 of his characters from Kill la Kill cutting his hair. The horn specifically. And that's just like awesome.
Here's some of their artwork from Gridman. This is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
And Kenny convinced me to buy this.
Nick, is there a
And-
picture of the thighs in there?
Oh yeah, there might be Thigh Girl in here. Let me look.
I don't know her name.
I don't remember her name
I just know
either.
her thighs.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna be the villain. Oh yeah, here.
What?
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 I'm pretty sure she's the villain.
What are you talking
You don't
about?
think so?
Are you talking about a different
This girl-
character?
This girl, right?
That's a different character.
No. The
girl with the long hair.
The main girl is.
Oh, the friend. Oh, the
Oh
friend.
my god.
Sorry. No. Oh no, she's the. Yeah, you're right. She's the boob girl. You're right. My bad.
Boob. Yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
li-
yeah.
all right.
Opie.
I'm not
She's completely
Yeah,
stacked.
they literally said, "This girl is got the thighs.
Oh, yeah.
This girl's got
Yeah.
the boobs." That's literally what
Well,
they said.
the thing
Don't
was
fucking pin
that
that
is-
one on me.
the thing is that like the character designer, when everyone like reacted and was like, "Ooh," he was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you guys like this? You guys like
Yeah.
thick girls?" And then he's like, "Well, you look at the other girl, like, she's stacked, and I
Yeah.
like drawing girls like that." And it was just
Yeah.
nice. It's very different from their like. So
It is not their normal art style.
No,
that's
no.
and
definitely
like
not.
no character that I can really think of in Trigger's series are like stacked, hard stacked. They're like just the traditional anime stacked, if that makes sense.
I was gonna say Yoko, but Guy next. So
Yeah.
Technically, no. Here's the cast. Here's the cast. That girl's the one with the thick thighs.
You
but
can't see him
they
though.
covered her.
Sad
Yeah.
times.
But this is honestly another one of my really preferred ones because he totally looks like I always felt like the second they showed the keyframes for him, I was like, oh yeah, no, that's the friend from
Darling.
No. Oh yeah, it does look like Goro, but I was thinking he looks like the redhead delinquent from
Oh, Kisniver.
Kisniver. Thank you. You know what's stupid? In my mind, I keep wanting to call that show Strelezia for some reason, but I'm like, that's the mech from Darling in the Franxx. What the fuck's wrong with me?
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
I don't know,
Everything,
man.
apparently.
Oh no,
Oh.
that's what it is.
There's another thing. Just thought of, completely forgot, but one of the most interesting things that they said right in the beginning of the panel was they didn't say specifically that this was like a true issue. They just said,
Oh,
"Hey,
fuck.
Darling in the Franxx been working on it for like 6
5
years,
or some shit
almost
like that,
6
yeah.
years or something like that." And they were like, "Yeah, so we've been working on this for a long time. We're working with A1 Pictures, now Cloverworks, and it's been difficult, and we now know that we are 2 very different companies."
That's exactly what it is. 2 very different studios, and I was like, ugh. So like everyone kind of got that as that makes sense why there's kind of a. I think I touched on that in my article too a little.
And like they're happy with the end results of the series. Ooh, thick.
Attaboy.
2 C's.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
My kind of gal.
Mind you, I do want to say that Mark, before we started the podcast, said, "Hey, next week can we talk about hentai?"
Yeah. We'll talk about that topic a little bit. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yes, that is what he said. Just because look at the numbering. But
Well then,
that rolled up, I think, the rest of what we had to say on the amazingness that was Trigger and Gridman, all that JoJo's, right?
yeah, I like that's the only other panel I think we went to, like me and Nick, where the Shonen Jump panel.
So some asshole stole my poster
Really,
in the airport. Yeah,
that sucks.
What?
I was like, "What the fuck?" Someone stole my poster out of my bag
In the really?
in the airport.
Oh,
Yeah,
did you have it like sticking out?
yeah.
Oh,
Because I didn't want to wreck it. I was like, "Oh, I'll put in the cup holder of the thing."
Well, did someone
And, like, I
steal
set
it or
down.
did you drop it?
No, no, it was wedged in there. Like you had to take it out, but because of all the shit I was carrying, I didn't want to notice. But it was like impossible for it to just fall out. I made sure I was like shaking. I'm like, it won't fall out. So
That sucks.
that's
But
what it is. It was free.
What's that?
when we went to that panel, they did provide us with these My Hero posters, and like one of the big
They were
things they
good.
talked about was like how they are really pushing My Hero. Like that is literally their flagship, and like they are doing this thing where it's like 30 free chapters or
Yeah.
something like that. And
Yeah, it was like the first 30 chapters free,
Yep.
and then
Oh,
I think
also
said
the
they're gonna catch up to the Japanese in like
Yeah.
by
So
by-
the volumes will come out every other month now.
Yeah.
Versus I think it's like a 3-month gap usually.
Yeah.
I am a collector of My Hero, so like I have all the volumes that are out in English right now. And it's just kind of funny seeing how slow we are versus Japan. Because when I was in Japan, they were on like volume 15. And
Wow.
I was there last April. Not this year, April, but the year before. So we're just now on like volume 14 next month, I think. Next month we get volume 14. So that's how far behind we've been. So it's like a real issue that they were talking about. But I think they're also going to do it for not only My Hero. I think My Hero's like the test run. But they're going to be doing that with Tokyo Ghoul and a few other like Viz things.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool.
They were looking really good on the Viz. They're strong as fuck on the Viz Media front. One of the things that I thought was actually pretty fun was not so much the convention, but a huge thing they were doing in the areas we went to, like Little Tokyo. Well, actually, I don't know. Did we have anything else before we jump to the rest of the stuff
I do
we
want
did?
to mention something real quick.
Yeah, I didn't want to move.
Jessica just said something in the chat too. Like she said, I'd probably buy more manga subscriptions if services were caught up.
Yeah.
And like, that's a serious thing. Like a lot of people, we just read manga through like illegal means. Unfortunate.
Whatever fan translations. Or
Yep.
posted.
So like, it sucks because like if you, it's the 18th. I just realized that Shonen Jump released 2 days ago, so I can finally read Burn the Witch, the new Kubo series. One shot. So yeah.
Oh, talk about who that is and what they talked about in the podcast. That was a good one.
Kubo is the creator of Bleach, and for their 50th anniversary issue, they made sure to get him to do a one shot, and he was very happy to do it. And it's very interesting, you know, his designs, like his skill is really character designs and poses.
Oh yeah,
like he's very good at that shit, and it fucking shows in that. And just some of the sample art we were able to see for that. So like when I saw that this was happening, I was like, dude, I'm on this shit. If they actually give him a serialization, he like goes through the whole process of actually coming back to Jump with that series, that'd be cool. But he also teased at the end that maybe, and this is what I've heard, maybe it's either him coming back with more Bleach or him coming back with more of that series. I hope it's more of that series because alright, I'm kind of done with Bleach.
I think so is a lot of
I
people.
think
but
the world's
that's...
on Bleach.
A lot of people aren't for some odd reason. It's like those diehard fans, like the Naruto fan base, you know.
So they want a Boruto of Bleach.
Unfortunate.
I would take a Boruto of Bleach because I'm tired of Bleach. I feel like if they were to just, it makes me think of SAO. All right, here's my thought process. I thought of this SAO, Gun Gale Online. That's basically a Boruto. It's like, oh, same universe, and then these people are kind of related, but you almost never see the main
That's
original
not really
cast.
a Boruto because Boruto.
It's a spin-off. No, but Boruto's a spin-off.
Boruto's literally the
It's more
kids,
of a
and you actually
sequel.
see the
Yeah.
old cast.
Do
Yeah.
they? No, all right. So I only saw bits. I don't know if they brought them in more, but I thought it was just like, oh, hey, my dad's the Hokage.
Oh
He's
no
an
no
asshole.
no!
This is
Like
too busy
they
to be my
like
father.
in the next episode.
Kenny, you're muted.
Kenny, you're muted to us, I think.
Sorry. In the next episode, you got Naruto and Sasuke fighting this crazy fight. So like everyone's pretty hyped about this next episode of Naruto.
Yeah.
I think it came
I
out
remember
today.
seeing a clip of fucking Sakura fighting.
Yeah, Sakura had a crazy fight too. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I only looked at it because I'm like, oh, maybe this will be like I could get into this and I'd be cool with it. Because I like Naruto. I watched like 20 episodes. I'm bored. I don't want to watch this again. Shippuden. I watched 20 episodes. All right, I'm bored of this. I don't want to watch this again. I didn't watch 20 fucking Boruto. I watched like 3.5, I think, with my brothers, and I was like, fuck this. I was like, fuck this. I'm out. So my assumption was they stayed the course, but like I said, if they brought back the main characters from the original series, then I don't know that.
Yeah.
But I, for one, was like, I could get behind this sort of a spin-off.
Yep. So I am a big fan of some characters in the universe of said like Bleach and Naruto. Like Bleach, I would love to see more Grimmjow. I'd love to see some more background story on the captains, 100%. You know, like I think I was really interested in Kenpachi's thing, where like,
oh, I think everyone was.
yeah, like that was super cool, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people were also not happy about like they did that with Naruto. I'm not sure if you guys remember that, but like they had like a bunch of short stories or like volumes talking about like Itachi, talking about Kakashi's background story, one for whatever his name is, that one character no one gives a shit about. Can't remember because I don't give a shit about him. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's. I personally wish that there were much easier means to read manga and do it legally. Like I think Crunchyroll, they got their manga app, and I'm reading things on it. But the issue with it is that it is not supported well. Huh?
They don't have a lot of options available that are like simulpubs.
Yeah, like now they got domestic.
Yeah.
But like, and I like that. But the thing is that it's like the app itself is kind of shit. Like you could tell it hasn't been supported in a long time. And
it works well enough. Well,
it does the job.
Some things I do hate about like Crunchyroll's manga is that like when I was reading chapter 107 of Attack on Titan, it had a duplicate page. Like
that sucks.
Like I literally had to go find a fan translation to find the page that was duplicated and it was written on the other one.
That would have made me sad. I managed to catch up on My Hero and finish part 5 of JoJo's, and God help me if those didn't get me pumped for the next upcoming season.
On the My Hero note, like it sucks to be a legal reader, because if you are reading Shonen Jump and you follow all the people on Twitter, like I have friends who have yelled at me, who have said I will not look at Twitter on Saturdays, or because on Saturdays My Hero is usually up, the manga, on like the legal sites, and then the episode comes out. So like I'm pretty bad with it. I don't know. My Hero's like the one thing that I just can't help but be like, I gotta screenshot this. I gotta talk about this. I gotta do that. But like My Hero the manga, like I don't do it that much, but I see a lot of people that are like, "Oh my god, this crazy thing's about to happen," and it's just like, dude, if I was a legal reader on that shit, that would suck because I wouldn't
Yeah.
actually be able to read it until like 3 to 4 days later, and like that's just kind of the system. You can't really do anything about it.
That part when they revealed that Eraserhead was Deku's father, I was just like, "What the fuck, really?" I'm joking. I'm joking.
Can't believe you said that.
I hope Kenny's eyes
I
rolled
can't believe
and
you said
Mark
that.
realized I was joking.
I can't believe you said that.
There's other genuine spoilers. I was thinking about. I'm like, oh no, that's fucked up to bring up.
Well, I was talking to somebody about One Piece, right? Because I just started reading.
Okay, One Piece is a whole other.
I'm at like chapter 120 or something like that. I literally just started it. And
well, I think where you are is like episode. We're almost where I left off with Nami in her hometown, right?
No, I'm past that.
Oh, so that was like episode 50 in the anime.
Yeah.
Or like 56, I think.
Yeah. So like.
So you're like past that part.
Yep. I am. They're in Grand Line right now. But the thing is that people are talking to me about Ace and shit already, and I'm like, dude, I am not there. Chill the fuck out. And they're like, yeah, so this happened to Ace. Bro. Like, why are you like this? Why are you talking to me about this shit? Like, I just told you I just started the series. I'm only at chapter 100 and something. Whatever.
That's why it was funny when I was talking about Shad, and he's like, oh yeah, that was the first ship. I'm like, they got more ships? What the fuck? And he's like, oh, yeah, my bad, dude.
And
it's like
Shedley hates
yeah, it's
spoilers.
just so far in the future. It's like if I told you, oh yeah, Jesus dies and comes back at the end of the Bible. It's like, what the fuck, really? Kind of thing. It's like, it's such an old, far back thing that most people don't even assume. Oh yeah, you don't know that yet.
When
At one point where Mikasa dies in Attack on Titan.
Jeez.
That's kind of fucked.
Jeez. Stop it. Now the thing about One Piece, right, is like I went to One Piece Tower when I was in Japan, and they had this really cool thing where like you come in and they have like this centerpiece that you stand on, and like everyone wraps around it, like it's one like cone. Wow, that looks weird. One cone thing, and you all wrap around it, and there's like a whole fucking screen around you guys, right? And like they just show you a bunch of manga panels, and like they have this dramatic music, and it's like super like, holy shit, like I know One Piece is gonna get crazy. They show like stuff leading up to the time skip, and then they show stuff after that, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to read this manga now. But I didn't feel like I was spoiled, even though I was literally shown what happens. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shit like that. Like
JoJo's the same thing. JoJo's the same thing.
Yeah,
if you
JoJo's
showed
the
me
same
things
thing, yeah.
from part 6, I'd probably just be like, oh, okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. That's different because actually, now that I think about it, because JoJo's is so absolutely obscenely fucking random. I could tell Mark an explicit spoiler, and he'd just be like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Hey, Mark, an Italian man teaches him how to punch rocks through frogs. Does that make any sense to you?
No.
No, because it wouldn't make any fucking sense to anyone. He fights a hair vampire underwater. Like, what the fuck? Like, none of this shit makes any. Like, you're just like, what the fuck is a hair vampire? Like, so little things of certain shows make any sense at all, and that's what I love about them.
Yeah.
And then there's things like I wanted to talk about Danganronpa with Shad, but he finished the third game, and I didn't yet, so I couldn't finish that shit. But I know we couldn't even mention anything because Jessica was there, and I felt awful because I'm like, so I don't know. That's a lot of good sports.
Can I say something that's like kind of off topic?
No, go for it, man.
I really enjoyed talking to Jessica like in the car rides and stuff because she knows her shit too, and I was just like, oh shit, like I like all of her opinions that she has on things, and I'm just like, oh, this is interesting, almost to a level where I was like, dude, why is she not on the podcast? But it's a whole nother story. So I was just like, oh yeah, these are the kind of conversations I like having. I don't have that often. So like when I'm with you guys IRL, it just kind of spews out. Yes. But it's just nice, when you have your otaku friends and you're actually talking this shit. Like me and Mark, we're constantly like, if he sees something, like we both watched an episode of something, he's messaging me like, dude, you watch that? Or like, I'll do the same thing and say, hey, just caught up on Steins Gate. What the fuck's happening? Okabe's crazy.
Did you cry?
You know? Did you cry? Oh yeah, that's like, all right, that's our key thing. I'm always asking him, did he cry? Or he's saying to me, there's a bunch of onions in my room. He doesn't know why, you know.
Oh, get these onions out of here.
Bunch of onions.
I think one of my favorite things was, again, I haven't looked up the proper term, but it's like the moderate use, low replenishment or some shit, like low waste. Shit that we kept doing because every fucking day we would go to the Asian market down the street.
That and In-N-Out and
What
Yeah,
moderate use, dude? There was so many snacks left over.
Yeah, we wasted a lot. But like that's because no, all of that was the first day. After the first day, we were very good about it.
yeah, the first day I went kind of.
It was literally like, oh hey, here's a 12-pack of beer.
You know what
for
Kenny did?
$8.
Kenny put his arm on the shelf and pushed his cart down. He literally had like at least one of every snack.
It's fun.
Yeah. Whereas I only did that for the alcohol.
But
And
I got to get some melon.
I've got
pond.
like puchow all over the fucking place.
I got to eat some more melon pond. That was fucking awesome.
Was
And then my boy Nick finally got to try it, and he now understands why I am addicted. It's fucking good.
It's some good shit.
Another
Another thing we did was
go ahead.
use Asian drinks as mixers.
Oh,
I'm saying this because
Yo.
we meant to make a video of it, but we kind of just drank it instead.
Yo. What are you gonna say, Mark?
The drink.
Dude.
Dude, the apple juice and the.
That shit was good.
Apple juice and Fireball is Japanese
That
apple
was
juice and Fireball, and Japanese
good.
orange juice and Malibu,
Oh yeah.
which fucked me up because I didn't realize when we got. I looked at the price, so I grabbed bottles. We grabbed a normal 3/4 liter, so 750 milliliter bottle of Fireball, and a 1 3/4 liter bottle of Malibu. So I'm matching Kenny over here, drink for drink, and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me? How is his bottle empty and mine's half full still? Oh, I fucked up. And I laid down for like 2 hours and slept.
Yeah.
And I woke up, I was like, man,
We
I feel like someone face fucked me with a pineapple.
we drank every single day, but it's fine.
Oh, it was good.
So I do want to end all of this discussion on Anime Expo and our trip, mostly because we do have like 10 minutes left, or 8 minutes, and do want to talk about some changes
Updates!
and updates and stuff.
What?
First update and change, I'm no longer on the podcast. Crazy. News to them. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, he's joking. He's fucking joking. Don't.
Yeah. So we are gonna change our format a bit. We're probably going to be, if not a break, just completely disappear from doing podcasts on Twitch.
Twitch, yeah.
We're still gonna stream, like do weekly streams, right? Still gonna do those.
Fridays.
Yeah, so we're still gonna do those and like occasional streams, but the podcasts about like all of our podcasts being on here first, like I have felt for a while, and I've talked to these guys about like how we can do a lot better if we do like some more post-processing stuff and like just record it. We'll be able to do it on our own time and then clean it up and then put it out. And we also want to start doing episodic reviews on shows that we're watching together, or like two of us are watching, so on and so forth. I'm not watching much this season, like at all, so I have no idea what's out there. I just know
It's gonna be a
Hanabata.
good experiment.
Having a nerd fest over Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good experiment.
Yeah,
Like I think it's gonna be really good. So, we'll try to post. I think the only reason why we couldn't post on Facebook is being stupid, but we're gonna try to use Facebook. We'll set up a Twitter, and we have a new Discord set up, and we're gonna try to put more announcements out and everything.
you weren't supposed to talk about the Discord, man. That was a secret.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
Oh.
shit, secret's out now.
Secret's out. Time to
Mark, take it up.
spam it in chat.
We got Discord now.
We now
All
have a
on you.
Discord, guys.
There you go.
Nice spam,
Open
bro.
everyone. So feel free to join us and hang out, and we have plenty of open space to chat and just chill.
I like personally love the idea of the Discord. Like I've already like I'm in a bunch of Discord servers, and like each server is technically like its own community, right? So like when Mark first made this, I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like he even has like a little section for like all of the seasonal anime
Yes.
of this season, and it's like the big ones that everyone's watching, where you can like have conversations and be like completely just talk about the weekly
Spoiler
stuff.
friendly.
Yeah,
That was the key
you can just keep talking about whatever. And if you wanted a spoiler-free environment, we have the general chat and everything else. So it's dope. I like it. And Mark, we talked about it, but did you think about or do the thing I talked about like having a chat for like if they wanted to add features or whatever? Okay.
If you look at the top of the not for features, but for like the
Like certain
summer
chat
20
windows or whatever, yeah.
section, I have right at the top channel requests. So if they want a new like channel specifically for an anime they're watching this season or talk with other people, just drop it in there and yeah, we'll create that channel as soon as we can.
Yeah, I personally like I know we probably all do it, especially on Twitter. Like screenshot shit that we found funny, or like this stuff out of context you could post. There's such a window of opportunity there. But the main thing to get out of this is we got a Discord channel. We are getting away from Twitch. What the hell? What are you doing? Nick left. That was so weird. Sorry about that.
What the shit was that? Sorry.
It was alright. Great timing.
I was like, wait, what the fuck? Why did everything go quiet? My Discord cut for a second.
So
Sorry.
I do want to say, I forgot what I wanted to say. Thanks, man.
I'm
You
sorry,
fucked me
dude.
up so bad.
I was looking like, wait, what the fuck was that?
Oh, another thing I wanted to say, and I feel like this is my fault because we're at podcast 68, and I have never said this, but if you can and you love us, we love you, you should totally go to our iTunes podcast thing and like leave us a review and rating and shit, because like that helps.
Fuck.
And like I've never ever said that because
We never asked.
we weren't fishing for this kind of shit, like kind of just wanted it organically, but now I'm realizing more and more that we just don't talk about it at all. So if you can and you already like our shit, just throw a review in there and that'll be awesome. Helps us out. We're like so far in now, we're a year and change, so like we're not going to be in the new and noteworthy section, but like we'd like to put our ratings higher, and then we'll actually be probably shown with other anime podcasters so that they can like, oh yeah, you know, I'm into this shit, so I'm gonna like them too. Also, cool thing that we did in California is we had met with Lauren for the first time, IRL, me and Nick, and she said that she wants to come back on, so probably sometime next week.
Out for that loveliness.
Hopefully. We got to replace Loha somehow. Oh yeah, we never talked about Loha wasn't here. Well, Loha's not here. That's all.
Sounds so bad. Such an ass.
We're not really replacing him.
He's spending time with his Jessica, just like Mark spent time with his Jessica.
Yeah,
Everyone should go out and get themselves a Jessica. I think it's
if you don't have a Jessica, get you a Jessica, because those are the best girls apparently. Bunch of
I feel
Jessicas.
bad because I'm like I can't say any of the stuff I wanted to say because it sounds really bad. It was like stuff like, oh yeah, they're really cheap and easy. I'm like, no, that's not
dude.
good. Don't
what are
say
you
that.
doing?
Yeah, so
what are you
clearly
doing,
that's not what I
buddy?
think.
Oh my god.
But I was like, I can't think of an applicable compliment.
Yeah.
But Jessicas are awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us that Jennifer is better. Is that his wife's name?
Yes, that's his voice. I was gonna say, yeah, Jen. For you, a Jen is better. You better say that. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure she will beat you with a club.
Well, it's not like he's like, I'm gonna trade in for a Jessica. Like that's just not the case. So
Don't do that.
we're gonna close it off here, but it's been real, Twitch. It's been fun. Hopefully you are subscribed on our YouTube, Google Play Music, iTunes, all that shit, SoundCloud, And that's where we will be posting. It's still going to be weekly on there, no matter what.
Yep.
Probably on Fridays. And
We'll be doing the streams here still on Fridays as well.
yes, the weekly stream, whatever.
Yes.
And like I said, throw us a review if you love us, because we love you. No pressure.
We'd appreciate it. It really would be good.
Word. All right. Thanks, guys. You guys have a wonderful evening and awesome weekend, and see you next week. Later.
Later.